And today's title is God Takes Pleasure in People Who Prepare Themselves with Joy. Today is the seminar, and tomorrow is our 20th anniversary Thanksgiving service. And last night I was so thankful that I was preparing, I was thankful to God that how we can give thanks to God for our 20th year. And we've been running hard for a long time to reach these events. And I know full well how much prayer and the labor so many of you have poured into preparing them. So then, believe that this dawn service is the final time of preparation and prayer that God has granted us. And for the time that remains, I pray in the name of the Lord that you would all be precious saints who focus and pour yourselves out before God. Number one, God is pleased when we give joyfully. In the busyness of preparing for these events, we can forget the one thing that truly matters. But the thing that we must never forget is this. When today's seminar and tomorrow's Thanksgiving are offered from within us, wholeheartedly and joyfully, just as the next text says, God is delighted. And the seminar and the Thanksgiving service becomes a worship filled with the presence of God's blessing. Please realize that. So please put everything else behind, and I urge you to believe this with all your heart. The people offered willingly. And here the word willingly is Hebrew madab, or nadab, meaning to volunteer to offer a gift out to willing heart. And the place where this word nadab appears are especially, number one, when the tabernacle was built. Number two, for the people's voluntary devotion. In Judges chapter 5, verse 2, chapter 5, verse 9. And third, when the temple was built in 1 Chronicles chapter 29. And fourth, when they returned from Babylon and built the temple, they nadabbed. Ezra chapter 1, verse 6. Number 5, when serving in the work of God. And 6, and it is used when one joyfully tunes one's own song and poem to God. Psalm chapter 67, verse 1. What we can learn from this is to offer to God joyfully means that giving in the temple and working in the temple is something we delight in ourselves. And to be glad and joyful, tuned to that very melody, is the blessing of Nadab. I pray in the name of the Lord today and tomorrow, every time one of you saints would truly volunteer with gladness, give with joy, and give heartful thanks to God. I pray this in the name of the Lord. Number 2, those who give with joy will be able to joyfully welcome Christ when he comes again. Matthew chapter 21, verse 8 through 10. Most of the crowd spent their coats in the road, and the others were cutting branches from the trees and spreading them in the road. The crowd going ahead of him And those who followed were shouting, Hosanna to the Son of David. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest. Those slaves went out into the streets and gathered together all they found, both evil and good, and the wedding hall was filled with dinner guests. Now this is the image of the feast of the wedding. And when Jesus entered Jerusalem, people of Israel welcomed him with gladness and joy. But as we know all too well, within just a few days, that shout turned into a murderous cry. Seize him, kill him. Didn't it? Why did such thing happen? Because their joy was different from the joy Jesus had in mind. Because what they expected was different from what they saw. People wanted a Messiah who suited their own taste, own needs. But Jesus, contrary to what people were thinking, was the Jesus who silently set his face toward the cross to accomplish the will of God. As the people spread out their coats, what did they say? They said, Hosanna, Hosanna. That is, save us now, save us. They cried out and cried. And indeed, he saved them from their sins, yet not one of the people understood it. They said, save us. And Jesus was saving them, but they didn't understand. None of them were able to understand Jesus. And saints, if our seminar is to be joyful and our Thanksgiving service is to be joyful, it cannot end merely with my own joy and my own satisfaction. No. When we first ask, will God be pleased, and prepare an offer with that in mind, I believe every event will end in joy. And when we welcome the Christ who comes again at the end, we must shout the very same thing. Hosanna, Hosanna, save us, save us. The only difference is this, that it must not be a joy that seeks to fill our own joy. Rather, when we are glad in what God is glad in what the returning one delights in, and we offer joyfully and wholeheartedly, then I am certain that as God looks upon such people, he will come down upon them. Aren't we so glad that we are able to gather here today to prepare one last time before these special events, that we can gather our strength together to do that? We're so thankful for that. And I pray that we will let us focus as one to prepare. In conclusion, God looks upon the side of a person who prepares with joy, and he's delighted. And the final second coming will surely come upon the person who prepares with joy as well. With joy. So believe that the seminar and Thanksgiving service too are one part of preparing with joy. So when you are singing praise with joy. When you're preparing the food, do it with joy. When you serve with joy. So prepare with joy, with the whole heart, so that you may feel and experience God coming down to the place with heart full of pleasure. And I pray in the name of the Lord that you will all be such saints.